and never completely like a bubble that you're blowing. Anything can pop it. So I think it's a good mixture of firmness and suppleness um, within the right context. So got to throw that in there. And I
Mhm.
think that is really a lot of what helped me in that part of my life in 2010 was just realizing that things were going to get better. They did not feel like they were going to get better. We've all been there. Again, when does this, I finished my dissertation and my doctorate, made my corrections and did my defense and everything, but my soon to be ex-wife wasn't there. And I'm not blaming her, and no way people think I'm dogging her out. We were just in that bad of a place.
Mm-hmm.
So when I graduated, she didn't come. Again, not judging her, not saying anything bad about her. She just wasn't in that place. Neither we were not no longer supporting each other.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone who's gone through divorce knows, the divorce that isn't the signing on the paper. It's that whole horrible, painful to get to that point. That's just a legal thing. It's all those other stuff. So we were already going in that place. I remember walking home from the University of Houston, where I got my doctorate degree. Literally walking home down the middle of the median, through Third Ward, Amani. So there, you got you got me on the ward.
Yeah.
Wait, y'all love this. I had the mortarboard and the sash. I gave the gown back. Took my tie, stuck it in my pocket. I'm walking down the median. People are like, "Hey man, you okay?" I'm good. Like they used to say people might be a little strange, but this dude's walking down the middle of a median with and what it happens, it's like a blues song. I got rained on. So of course it started raining.
What a picture. That is the beginning or end of a movie in some way.
Well, I'm here, so it's the Resiliency movie by
Yeah,
soundtrack by Money. So they,
yeah.
but that was part of the whole process, and seeing that I didn't think it was going to get better, but it did. But I didn't give up, and even when I wanted to, there's this little guy who looks a lot like me who wouldn't let me give up. So
Mhm.
if I can give you a resiliency tip, it's even if you don't have it within yourself, find something you can grab onto, an anchor point, because it's not always going to be internal. You're going to feel like you know what about some things you've done or you think you've done. We've all been there. And so when your spirit is empty, you can't grab onto something you can't grab onto like space. So you have to find something to connect to, something tangible but positive that
Right.
can help you until you move on, get strong enough to start anchoring within. But that's how we all are, you
All
know.
right.
I love the light bulb that you just gave to me. So thank you for this is like how to fall, like whether it is physically fall or in something in life, like we are all
Mhm,
going to fall. But
mhm,
if you learn how to fall and fall hard,
mhm.
then getting up isn't that difficult because
Yeah,
because you're preparing to fall. You know you're going to fall and you
yeah.
know you got to get back up. Like the
Mhm.
physical piece of it cuz I'm 48 years old. Like I'm working on my physical balance at this stage, right? How do I
Yeah,
stand up? How do I get in and out of a car without grunting or whatever, right? Like
yeah, yeah.
you're talking about your physical being, but then you think about the spiritual and emotional piece of like how do you fall and how do you get back up? Just that mental
Yeah.
practice of that is just a good step for resilience.
Mhm.
So thank you
You're
for
welcome.
giving that visual. I appreciate
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
and our instructor says, we do a lot in Japanese jiu-jitsu about falling because he said, "Oh, we do all these throws, all these sweeps," but it's no good if you're going to work with your partner. You throw them through the floor repeatedly. If they don't know how to fall, they're not going to get up pretty often. So one of the things you can tell people if you want this one, if you use this one, you have to. Yeah, I'll say the name of my instructor because if you don't put the quotes on it and contribute them, I'm gonna get beat up. So don't try to get me beat up.
We don't want you to get beat
But
up.
yeah, so this is a sensei Toriism. We'll call it that, and I'll send it to you. But he says about falling, if you cannot fall, you cannot fight. And you have
Mm.
to remember when you hit the ground, I know people don't always like the fight methodology, fine. But you have to get up and keep going. But if you don't know how to fall, then you just land there like splat, like, ooh, that didn't look good.
Mhm.
He's just kind of twitching now. Oof. So learning how to fall is very, very important. So
All
thank
right.
you for that observation.
Great. It's
Of
awesome
course.
stuff.
Thank you, Claudia Gonzalez, who's here with us. We appreciate you leaving a comment during our live broadcast. Now, Tom, we're to the point of the show where we kind of flip the script and
Hmm.
we let you ask me a question and you ask Mandy a question, and then we answer. Then we'll continue on to the kind of the end of the show as we're kind of
You
rounding into
got
the
it.
home stretch.
All
Who do you
right.
want to ask the question to first? Is it Mandy or me?
I wrote these down like a couple of weeks ago, so y'all better get ready. I'm gonna go
Oh,
with you
snap.
first, Amani. Uh-oh. Wait,
Okay.
let me put my professor glasses on here.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh
All right.
yeah,
fancy.
Go.
Amani, you have a two-parter, and so does Mandy. So I'm gonna give you the kind of
Okay.
serious question. Part one: you are a professor at CSU Fullerton. Thank you, sir. Question. First part of the question is: what inspired you to teach? And secondly, what, in your opinion, is the key to being a great teacher?
What inspired me to teach
Hmm.
was the opportunity to share my experience and knowledge with students to better prepare them to enter into the working world. That's what
Awesome,
inspired
sir.
me. And the second part was, repeat the second part again.
What, in your opinion, what is the key? Since y'all love looking for
Uh,
pillars and pull quotes, to being
yeah.
a great teacher.
I think the key to being a great teacher is to engage with the students on a daily
Hmm.
basis, have
Hmm.
conversations instead of talking at them, try to reach the students in their preferred way of learning. Some people are visual learners, some people
Hmm.
are auditory learners, some people are a combination of the two or the three. So you have to try to teach using all different methods. Um, Also be open to sharing like what you're working on, what you've been through, how you're feeling with the students. They'll look at you more as a human, and they'll be more open also. And then I think number four is just to try to have fun, because it's
Yeah.
hard being a student. Most of my students are first generation, so they're probably
Yes,
working
sir.
full time
Yes,
and going
sir.
to school full time. They've been in class all day, and they come to see me at 7 o'clock at night when they'd rather be at home in the bed. So just try to have fun, keep it
You got it.
interactive, and
Okay.
just teach those methods. That would be my
Mm.
answer.
See, Mandy, you know Amon is going to continue to be a great speaker because I asked him for the key and he gave me four. So he knows how to take time on the stage, babe. That's what I'm talking
Boom,
about.
Thank you.
boom. He
All
owned
right.
it. He owned
Hey,
it.
definitely a student of Les Brown. All right. All right. Amani, this is your fun question. It's a
Oh,
scenario. Now I have to
okay.
call you DJ Amani.
Yes.
You've been hired by a supervillain, but you don't know it. And they have you doing your DJ set over a tank of angry, hungry sharks. Here's the
Mhm.
thing: they will let you go if you put together the ultimate playlist and you don't know anything about your audience. My question is right off the bat: name five songs that you know will be on your list and possibly save you from the sharks.
Ooh,
5
that's
songs I would
good.
sing from Shark. Okay, let's think here. I would say "Lovely Day" by, Bill
Bill
Withers.
Withers. Oh yeah.
Okay, I like that one.
Oh
I
yeah.
would say "Signed, Sealed, and Delivered" by Stevie Wonder.
I love that
I
song.
would say "Fantasy" by Mariah Carey. You have to include the ODB remix, so shout out to Mimi right there. Number 4, I'm gonna go with a little random cut. If you're a fan of freestyle music, I think the group is pronounced No Serra, and it's "Summertime, Summertime." That's a
Okay.
hot one there. And
Okay.
then we'll go with a classic "September" by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
This one here. That's a serious DJ.
You're gonna copy the
Fine, I
villain.
guess you
That
would.
villain doesn't stand a chance.
Nope.
That villain, no. That villain be doing it all the time. Thank you. Thank you so
Mhm.
much. Now,
Yes.
my friend Mandy, you
Yes.
think you had it easy. Hey,
Oh,
Mandy,
no.
you
Yes.
told me you've been in the meetings and event industry for about 25 to 30 years. Same question. What inspired you to become a meeting professional? And I have a
Ooh.
different one on the second part of that.
What's interesting, nothing really inspired me. I just
Mhm.
fell into it. It
Okay.
was, I've always loved gatherings. I've always loved to gather people, and
Mhm.
I just happened to plan it more than other people did and get it done when I was a lot younger.
All right.
And then I interned for it was an event called Rally by the River. It was a
Mhm.
weekly music festival in the summer in
Mhm.
Toledo, Ohio, and I was in
Cool.
charge of the band riders and fulfilling them and making sure people get on stage. And I loved
Mhm.
that. And then every for job I had in the meetings business, it just each one fell into the next one, fell into the next one, fell into the next one. So I don't think anything really inspired me. I think I just
Gotcha.
found something that I love and that I wasn't bored
Okay.
by, and just
Okay.
I kept rolling with it till they kicked me out.
Okay.
They
Ah.
eventually they'll
Okay.
kick me out eventually.
Right.
Hmm.
Awesome. My wife did backstage as well. That's a whole nother again in her previous life.
Hmm.
So, what's one misconception? This is still from the serious question that
Yes.
you think people have about meetings and events professionals.
Wow, I'll say this as a teacher,
Mhm.
people everybody wants to plan a party. They think all you do are plan parties. And like I'll go on site inspections and post pictures of the ocean and everything. What people don't see is that I too am sweating my brains out, and I'm in the back of the house in a kitchen, or I'm checking out like the broadband or the bandwidth, or I'm in an AV closet. Like people think it's all like fun and games, and I don't think, and it is fun, but I don't think people realize, first of all, the hard work that goes into it,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
not just the hard work, but the actual impact that a
Mhm.
meeting has, where you're doing a medical meeting and you are solving problems that a critical mass of people have, or you're having a company executive board retreat and you're creating policies for a company for thousands and thousands of people. So I think
Mhm.
the impact that meetings have
Mhm.
are huge, and people don't realize that. Sometimes they're just like, how hard is it to arrange a meeting room? But, most meeting planners don't look at it like that. Most meeting
Yeah,
planners look at
yeah.
it as like, what is the overall strategy of this? What
Mhm.
content goes into place? What
Okay.
environment needs to be there? So I think people don't realize the heavy intellectual nature of it. And they
Right.
also think you're just having fun and just laying on a beach all day, which is so not true. Yeah. Sometimes I'll go to
Yeah.
an island for a site inspection, and I will get outside maybe 10 minutes that day. So
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Thank you for that. It's
Yeah.
almost like the meeting and event center had some big thing on a beach in Mexico recently or something.
Yeah,
Anyway,
almost
so
that. Well,
Well,
Amani
we
went to
were
that. He's the one on
working.
the
well,
beach, not
well,
me.
We were
hey,
working very hard there. Let me
so
tell you.
so Manny, this is your fun question, and Manny, you and I are gonna have some drinks in Orlando at NSA about this one because you watch. I might get killed for asking this. Okay, here
No.
you go. Here's my fun question.
Okay.
So, Mandy, you are managing a conference for 250 people that officially opens at 6 p.m. with dinner, drinks, and speakers. At 1 p.m., you're told that the kitchen catering has been closed due to an outbreak of norovirus. Oh, and your DJ told you he might be late due to something about sharks and supervillains. Okay, your only options to feed your people, I know you're going to hate me for this one, is fast food. Which places do you choose and why?
Ooh. Well, Pollo Loco, because
Pollo
there's a little
Loco.
something for everybody and it's healthy even though it's fast.
Okay.
I think Chipotle. And then our
Mhm.
friend Troy Hooper has a really good fast Japanese place. I think it's called Pepper Steak. And I
Mhm.
would choose
Okay.
those. But it's funny, as soon as you said that, my head was like local food trucks. As soon as you said, what do you do? I'm like, local food trucks, pull them up.
There
Yep.
you go.
Yeah. So that's what I would do.
Imani, man, she bad. She bad.
Of
She didn't get
course, we know this.
got cut. I
We
got
know
cut.
this. Yes,
No, at
yes.
our wedding reception, we used food trucks, and since my wife's in architecture, we didn't have a wedding cake. We used a donut hole pyramid.
Ooh,
Ooh, that's
very
Very
nice.
fun.
different
I
stuff. But the
love
food
donut
trucks,
holes.
everyone loved the food trucks. They were like,
Mhm.
you know.
Okay.
Thank you both. That was insightful, and I hope you found that fun. I really
It
enjoyed
was
those
very
answers.
fun.
I
Yeah.
love how you prepared for it. Thank
I
you
Yes.
do.
for
Oh,
putting some thought into that. That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
college
Great preparation.
professors. You know how we are.
Yes.
We're
Our
ready.
final question for you, because we're
Yes,
kind of at
ma'am.
our time, so this has flown
Thank
by.
you.
We have to have part two. Our final question you would be, if we're going to go back to, let's say we're going to go back to when you finished at University of St. Thomas, mid-90s,
Mhm.
and give Tom advice back then based on what you know now,
Mm.
what advice would you give your younger self?
I would go back to those three principles that you talked about earlier, which is, definitely formulate a plan for what I wanted to do. Um, be consistent with it, and absolutely don't give up. Because there are times where I kind of floated around. And although it gave me a lot of experience, like you remember from my keynote, me working at Enron, MetLife, and PricewaterhouseCoopers, um, it gave me a different perspective on looking at people and how things operate. But I wasn't as serious as I should have been, and I'm okay saying that. I understand it's part of the growth. But I would definitely say formulate a plan for success and things you want to do, even if it's just building experience. Be consistent with it, and most importantly, never quit, never give up. It doesn't mean you don't change; you make alterations, but keep going. So Thank you. That was a beautiful question. I appreciate that, both of you.
It's a good one.
All
Your
right,
favorite,
well,
Amani.
amazing is my favorite. Amazing interview with us. We
Thanks,
have
brother.
people, we have the links where they can find you on LinkedIn and your website. So just thank you for being our honored guest here on Juneteenth. We appreciate your
Appreciate
time
you very
with us.
much. Thank you.
And we'll put you back in the green room and then we'll talk about it next week. But thanks again. Any final words, Mandy?
Oh, just thanks for being here. And if you don't follow Tom on LinkedIn, follow him, go to his website. He has endless amounts of nuggets and information. And hire him for a speaker. He brought the house down. It is really, really hard to do an afternoon keynote on the
Yes.
second day of a program. And he did it. And there were 300 people, 200 people in the audience, physically standing up, engaging, and interacting. So to get hire Tom as a speaker because he crushed it.
I
Amen.
made everyone stand up and sit down several times, and people were
Yes.
like, "Okay, one," and I said, "Hey, by the way, every time you stand up, you're working a core." And people are like, "Okay, fine."
You did
It's
it.
been an
You did it.
honor. Thank y'all so much. I definitely got to
You're
come
welcome.
back. Trust me, I'd love
Thanks
to.
for being
Yes.
here.
My
Round of
pleasure.
applause for Tom. We're good there. Thank you. Okay, Manny, that does it for our show today. Any final words or anything else to share before we sign off for the day?
No, I mean, we've got an interesting couple weeks in July coming up. So
Yes.
next week we are airing our Ask Us Anything. So if you missed it last month, then you will see it next week. It was awesome. It was highly attended. People were asking Amani and me anything, really, from sweater vests to engagement to music to teaching. It was a pretty awesome business lesson and funny lesson. So we're going to air that at 1 o'clock next week on our LinkedIn channel. And then we have the 4th of July week off. And then
Mhm.
we will be back. We've got a full July schedule with some really awesome things. We've got Heather Cox from Heather Cox Codes. She is a social media genius, July 10th.
Mhm.
So tune
Yes.
in for that. And then we've got our 1 year anniversary show, which I
Yes.
can't believe we've been
Yes.
at this for 1 year. So, and there's going to
Mhm.
be some tricks and fun surprises, but we've never interviewed a couple that are founders. So we're interviewing Tori and Jordan Stark from West Side Love on the
Mhm.
24th. And then on the 31st of July, we have our interview with our young entrepreneurs and adventures in business juniors. So it's building the bench of the next level of business. So if you've got, tune in with your kids or just tune in yourself to see who those next level of entrepreneurs are. So we got an exciting July that we're preparing for right now. I don't know. I
Yes,
am
we
at
do.
least. Yeah.
Yes, very exciting. So we'll keep
Yeah.
you on the chain during your Mondays, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. on the West. If you listen to the podcast, please remember to rate, review, and share the podcast with everyone. And with that, I believe we are done for today. Excellent episode. We will see you all for the live rebroadcast of our Ask Us Anything next week. And all good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome back, Amani. It's good to see
Thank you.
you.
Likewise. See everyone soon. Stay
Bye,
safe and stay
everybody.
cool if you're in the Northern Hemisphere because it's summertime. All
Mhm.
right. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.